What screams, I'm attracted to you. Laughing at your worst jokes. Doesn't work when every joke I tell is amazing. This guy's stand-ups. That was pretty good. I told my friend when he was nervous on his first date if she laughs you got a shot, to which he replied why? I said cause you ain't FG funny and she's catering to your frail ego, just like all girls do when they like a guy. He said it was great advice lol. I feel like I'm not being fake when I do this to guys though. I think I just find it funny that they think they're funny and I kind of just feel their own enjoyment of their jokes or something. That is just way stronger with guys I like. I worked alongside this guy for several months, and he never said a word to me. For the longest time, I thought he hated me, as he would actively go out of his way to avoid speaking to me at all, or even make any kind of eye contact. It eventually got to the point where it was just uncomfortable, and I asked him what the deal was, and what I could have possibly done to make him dislike me so much. It took him a minute or so to respond, and then he said, I'm really sorry. I'm incredibly shy and have been since I was a kid, but I think you are the most flawlessly beautiful woman I've ever seen, and I am terrified to talk to you. We've been together for over 3 years, and married for 4 months. Looks like you were also into him since you noticed that he's been avoiding you. LOL. Apparently my fiancée dropped a whole lot of hints before we got together. A big standout was complaining that she didn't have any plans for our junior prom, and then asking me what my plans for that night were. My dumbass responded with something to the effect of FK prom. I'll be home playing Mario. I obliviously turned down a girl in favor of going to the midnight release of Halo with my bud. Absolutely no regrets. To think you might have missed out on an opportunity to get to know the one person who would always be there for you. A true partner to experience the greatest moments of your life alongside. But you went to that midnight release and it's been you and Master Chief ever since. LOL, this reminds me of my dad's many attempts to catch my mother's attention. Everyone at work knew what was happening, but my mom was dense as a brick on that front because she had a lot of ST to deal with at the time. One of my dad's attempts were him coming to work and showing her a picture he had taken of a window in an old house where someone had scratched a heart into it. He asked my mom what she thought and she was like, "Oh, that's nice," and had no clue what he was trying to communicate. It was pretty funny. I don't remember what finally made her put 2 and 2 together, but I'm happy she got it eventually, else I wouldn't exist. I was also very dense when my BF started flirting with me. He had to spell it out for me before I understood that he wasn't just sending me letters with dried flowers, quotes about love and romance, and watercolor paintings of teddy bears to be friendly. Dense as a FG brick. Losing their train of thought when you walk by, while they are talking to someone else. Yup, I work with my spouse. We've been married 14 years. I still lose my train of thought when he walks by. When you're in a group and the person consistently looks at you whenever something funny happens, you think I'm funny. Like I'm some sort of clown. Last week this PK asked me to christen his kid. I had a meeting yesterday afternoon. It was the first time for most of us meeting in person. The last person to arrive was this stunning girl, and when we looked at each other I swear to GD there might as well have been lightning shooting out both our eyes. At first I thought, nah, I imagined that. As she sat down close to me we looked at each other for a solid second and smiled at the same time for no particular reason other than it just feeling right. She started making conversation with me specifically. We had to split up into groups to interview people, and she and I were paired by the supervisor, best supervisor ever. For the next 2 hours, we just joked and talked with each other, and every time something funny happened we just looked at each other automatically. I've been with a lot of people but never had this sort of easy chemistry happen before. Certainly not so quickly. I'm excited to talk to her some more. Regardless of where it leads. Update. Asked her out to lunch sometime and she said yes. Might be a bit because we busy, but it's a good development. Constantly staring at you. I know this because I have a terrible habit of doing it. Or maybe they are being robbed of their soul. I always check in case. When they casually pretend to have the same interests as you. Oh, so you too like, picks up note. The geopolitical trade routes and currency used during Alexander the Great reign over the Macedonian Empire. I'm actually a history nerd, and that turned me on a little bit. Reading this list and realizing no one has ever really been attracted to me. I know what you mean. Yeah, I don't understand why I come into these threads to inflict emotional pain on myself. Excuses to be near them. Let's study together, we'll get more work done. Oh, you're going that way. Me too, let's walk together. We should study together. We will be more productive. Makes sense. What course are you studying for again? Anatomy. Uncontrollable happiness when they see you. A girl getting uncontrollably happy when they see me would make me very happy. Staring and constantly glancing at someone. I do exactly the opposite. I've always did to avoid creeping them out. In my case, ignoring you as much as possible. I sat next to a guy back in high school who would speak to literally every girl in the class except me. Didn't think much of it. Figured he didn't like me or that I was too shy and awkward to strike up a conversation with. Met up again in college. Sat at the same table again. But this time, he dared to talk to me. A couple years later we're married with a 2-year-old boy. So I guess ignoring your crush can be effective. If they know you like a certain food and buy it for you, the guy I liked loved this one dumpling place near uni. He'd constantly stop and get some on the way home. One day when we were walking together, beforehand he said he felt like some but didn't have his card, so no money. So even though I knew he wanted some, when I asked if he wanted me to buy it for him he politely declined. So I pretended to buy some for myself, since I sometimes would. Then I ate like 3 to make it believable and said I was suddenly full and he could have the rest. I just wanted him to be happy with his dumplings. Oh hey, I got you something. Don't worry about it, it's only a seasonal gift that is incredibly specific and labor-intensive, which I am giving you to celebrate the 3rd week anniversary after your 6-month biannual birthday bash. Oh, it's nothing, I was just passing by so I dropped it off at your house. I only live 13 hours away by plane. When you are chatting with a guy and start fixing your hair every once in a while without even noticing it. Ugh, wish I could do this. I just go bright red and sweat a lot. You can tell a girl likes you when she invites you upstairs in the middle of watching a movie, pushes you onto the bed, and starts having sex with you, or maybe she's just Canadian and trying to be polite. You can never be sure, so better look out for more clues. Is she into you? See, can't tell. In high school a group of us would always hang out at this one girl's house. Her little sister would tease me relentlessly every chance she had. Not being mean, just silly. Fast forward, we now have 6 kids and still maintain that childhood lightheartedness every day. Laughter is the key to a happy relationship. I read that as my little sister. Needless to say, for a solid 3 seconds I was horrified. When I was single I was terrible at picking up signals from any girls that may have been attracted to me, but I had one way that basically screamed it, when the girl asked to buy me a drink. As soon as that happened I knew they were into me. Simple yet effective. ODN, I was dumber than you. The number of times I'd be sitting on the bus later and just go, OST, she was hitting on me. Finding any reason to touch each other. Whether is play, fighting, feeling up muscles, poking someone's bruise, comparing hand sizes of, they actively try to find a reason to touch you. They probably like you. Showing up extra cute when they know you're gonna be there. How do you know that isn't just how they normally look, if you only ever see them extra cute? When in a group of friends, he starts talking about the awesome time he had last night with this one girl, how she's so beautiful, friendly, sexy, and you're just sitting there realizing he's talking about you the night before when you hung out with him. That was awesome, no one knew he was talking about me. It was so flirty, sexy secret. I don't know, any hints dropped at me flew over my head like a plane. Impulsively sharing your favorite music. Touch my crush and I work together, so I would usually come up and touch his shoulder, or poke him on his side. I lean my head over his shoulder when we are riding in the car. Even when he is passing me SMTH, like a pen, I'll try to touch his hand. That kind of thing. It took a while of being literally married for me to be convinced my husband was into me. I'm not always the smartest, lol. No matter how much he told me or kissed me or did sweet, thoughtful gestures, my own insecurity fought me every step of the way. I do understand now that I'm truly loved just as much as I love him. Eye contact and a freaking smile. Little gifts, trying to find ways to spend time together even if it's brief or unnecessary. Staring and watching. Attempts at light physical contact. Perhaps I'll breed some kind of albino shouting ape, Trying to become part of every conversation with someone else. Yeah. I work at a butcher's. Person joins the conversation. Oh, I walked past a butcher's when I was 6. I love this thread. A lot of touching if him giggling, leaning just being close to someone, or the classic resting my BS on them. Im attracted another. One I've done is modeled lingerie and sexy outfits for someone, or text pictures of myself in underwear asking how I look. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notification. See you on another video. Bye.